Happy Thanksgiving, FWE Universe. I can't tell you how thankful I've been this past month to be able to manage some of the greatest wrestling talent in the fantasy world. From powerhouses to technicians to high flyers, everyone brings their best night in and night out. And tonight, we're going to dedicate a large portion of our show to our cruiserweight division. We will see not one, not two, but 3 triple threat qualifiers in which the winners will go on to compete in a final triple threat match. And the winner of that bout will be the new #1 contender for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship and will go on to next week's PLE FWE Fallout to face Carson Gum for said title. Thanksgiving Triple Threat Tournament, that's what we're calling it. Rolls off the tongue pretty nicely, doesn't it? Also, don't forget that tonight, as previously announced, we will see Elizabeth Swann, Black Widow, Moana, and Poison Ivy compete in a fatal 4-way to see who is going to fall out as we await to see who Mulan's future opponent will be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I won't keep you waiting any longer. Have a blessed time with family and friends. Don't eat too much because I know I will. And enjoy tonight's Thanksgiving episode of FWE.
The air, gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, fists held high. Warriors fight till the night says die. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, as we welcome you inside of the FWE Fantasy Dome for the go-home show to FWE Fallout. I'm Seth Cole, alongside of the Tri-Wizard champion, my broadcast colleague Jack Mitchell. And Jack, getting ready for our first PLE since Paramount next Thursday night.
Looking forward to it. Happy Thanksgiving once again. It's going to be a fun night here in FWE.
So let me see if I get this correct. It's the Thanksgiving Triple Threat Tournament. Did I get that all right? I think I missed a T in there somewhere. Something like that. As tonight we're putting together the opportunity to be the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. 3 qualifying Triple Threat matches and then a final Triple Threat between the winners of those respective matchups to determine who Carson Gum will have his first title defense against.
Should be quite interesting here. Obviously, it's going to be a factor in the sense that this is the go-home show, so all these guys, whoever wins this Triple Threat Tournament tonight, they're going to have wrestled 2 matches in one evening, so endurance is going to be the name of the game here tonight.
Nick Gunther, former United States champion, former tag team champion as well, could potentially be looking for the Grand Slam if he's able to get 3/4 the way there, but he's got to get through this triple threat match, he's got to get through the final triple threat match, and then he's got to beat Carson Gum at Fallout.
I mean, it is a bit of a gauntlet, but be really interesting to see who comes out on top of this one, and Carson Gum definitely going to be watching this one to find out who his first challenger is going to be.
Lynn Ryder, of course, a member of the Outsiders. His tag team partner not been doing all that well here in the last couple of weeks. Of course, talking about Aladdin, who's had his problems with Hades. And I've seen a very interesting thing happen on this past episode of FWE Extra, where Apparently Hades has got some kind of an ally. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that as the night goes on.
Good morning, class. Today we're going to learn the McDonald's menu song and give a listener out there a chance to win $1 million. So, repeat after me. You know that. Here goes.
Well, there's very few individuals here on the roster that can make me feel creeped out just by them looking at me. This might be one of those individuals.
I wonder if he knows that I was just eating McDonald's before we started tonight's show.
Should I tell him I was just eating Burger King or think he would hurt me?
Ooh, I don't know. We haven't seen the Hamburglar in action in quite some time, so this will be an opportunity for him to try to get into the title picture.
Okay, now you do.
Yeah, to your point, big opportunity here for maybe a few people we haven't necessarily seen here
All the way through. All the way through.
in FWE lately to be able to get inside the ring, have an opportunity at a title. We mentioned about the fact that Nick Gunther has formerly held gold here in FWE. Flynn Rider and Hamburglar both looking for their first, not only singles championship, but first title overall here in the organization. Winner of this match goes on to the final triple threat later on this evening in our main event.
That can be quite a feeling when you are able to win your first championship in FWE. So a lot of these guys looking to try and climb the mountaintop for the first time. We'll see if they're able to do it here tonight. At least get a little bit closer. Triple threat rules, so a lot of these matches are going to be brutal. There's no countouts, no disqualifications.
Now, we've had a lot of triple threats and fatal four-ways and 8-pack challenges and gauntlet matches here in the last month or so, ever since Fallout concluded. I'm sorry, correction, make that Paramount concluded. Getting ahead of myself there. And one thing that we definitely know, if it's based off the history of all those matchups, you have to have a high endurance factor, because these matchups, they can be pretty lengthy.
Yeah, they can, and so you're going to want to make sure you stay sharp, keep your head on the swivel, keep your wits about you. As we got a submission.
It's like a heel hook locked in there by Nick Gunther. So referee Ernest Wright right there to see if Hamburglar wanted to give up. Able to fight out of it though, and now look at Flynn Rider. He just seems happy to let Nick wear down on Hamburglar. This is smart. Keep yourself fresh. Pick your moments.
I always say triple threats are about timing, just picking your moments. Certainly Flynn Rider so far looks to be doing that.
Oh, my gosh.
Caught there.
Full Nelson suplex, dropping Flynn Rider right on the back of his head, on his neck. And now if you're Nick Gunther, this is the perfect opportunity. Flynn outside of the ring, you got Hamburglar down. Well, may have taken a little too much time showboating there. That would have been a perfect chance to hit a big move, maybe get a quick pinfall.
Ooh. Hit the elbow drop into the cover.
Oh,
I don't know what's taking Ernest Wright so long to count.
I don't know if he was maybe trying to go around the direction the Hamburglar was to see if the shoulders were down, but certainly took his time getting over to that pin.
I certainly would hope that he thinks that's the case, and not that he thinks that Hamburglar is maybe another referee. They're both wearing the black and
They're
white
both
stripes.
wearing straight. Just the wrong direction if you're Hamburglar.
Exactly.
He went to the wrong tailor.
Nick went for some kind of a drop kick.
Oh gosh, well.
Huh? We're kind of watching the action here. A little bit of a slap to the face from Nick to Flynn Rider. Oh, again, Ernest Wright almost got in the way.
Kind of tough when you're in a multi-man match to know just exactly where you need to be stationed, because you never know what direction somebody could get Irish whipped. You never know what direction somebody could fall after a move. And now look at this. You talked about no disqualifications. Flynn Rider brought a kendo stick into the ring. Hamburglar's not going to allow him to use it, though.
Nick very quickly back up to his feet. Oh, what a move there.
Wow.
I'm not even sure what you call that, but that looked brutal.
It's like a cloverleaf backbreaker or something. I'm not sure. Nick in the 619 position there, but Hamburglar intercepts Flynn Rider, who now in turn will meet Hamburglar with a tornado DDT.
Oh, huge kick to the head. Springboard moonsault.
Right to the lower back. Cover is in. Triple threat rule, so there is no rope break. Hamburglar able to break that up though before the count of 3, and now got Flynn Rider up, bringing him over to the corner. Might be looking for snake eyes on that top turnbuckle.
Gunther into the ring, looking to capitalize on the distracted Hamburglar. The Hamburglar thought better of it.
Gunther now to the outside. Opportunity here for Flynn Rider or Hamburglar to maybe be able to hit that one move that will advance them here into this finals of the Thanksgiving Triple Threat Tournament. Here's the cover by Flynn, but Nick was able to regain his senses in time. Comes in, and that's not even going to be a 1 count.
Oh, big shot there.
Oh, gosh, roundhouse kick takes Flynn down. Hamburglar now, the takedown on Gunther.
Again, though, spending some time trying to gain the favor of the audience.
Oh, my gosh, heel kick on the button, and then
Another
one for
one.
Gunther.
Those heel drop kicks from Flynn have been deadly so far. He's got to capitalize on one of them and put somebody away. Ooh.
Nice arm drag there by Flynn Rider. Gunther down, now focuses his sights on Hamburglar. Airplane head scissors takes Hamburglar down. Nick stirring. Oh, nice jawbreaker there by Flynn Rider.
Oh, I almost wonder if he thought about going for the cover there. Instead, he decides to deliver another drop kick. Hamburglar quickly back up to his feet. Landed a bit of a punch there during that exchange.
Not sure if Flynn was going for an enziguri on Hamburglar and just missed, but Gunther caught it flush on the side of the head.
Wrenching on the arm a little bit there was Hamburglar. Now going into the cover to advance in the Triple Threat Tournament.
Is this going to be enough? And kick out at 2. Gunther was just getting into the ring. I'm not sure he would have gotten there in time if it had been a 3 count. And again, a meeting of the stripes.
Hamburglar now in the prime position to try to win this match into the cover.
Side Russian leg sweep. Is that going to be enough? No. Gunther kicks out at 1.
Feels like they're just running into each other repeatedly during this matchup.
Big clothesline in the corner there from Hamburglar. Hold on! Snap suplex from Gunther. And I think that knee previously, the Hamburglar hit on Gunther around the hairline, might have actually busted him open there as he gets the cover on Flynn Rider for a 1 count.
Wrenching on the arm. Oh, this is brutal. Oh, here we go. We got a steel chair in the ring. Nick's lining up for
Nick's
something. I don't know if he sees the steel chair.
Looking for the Zach Wheeler. Oh, and then, well, he was winding up for it. Hamburglar says no. Hits Flynn Rider with a steel chair. 1 shot now to Gunther. And, oh, hold the phone. Nice move by Flynn Rider. Head scissors combination into the armbar.
Hamburglar was able to roll out of it. Gotta look out for that kendo stick, though. Oh, again, doesn't give Nick the chance to use it. Flatliner DDT.
Rider, nice back body drop there. Back up to his feet comes Hamburglar and immediately drop back down with the drop kick.
And again, going with those drop kicks. Big DDT. I don't think he landed on the steel chair, but he was close.
Hamburglar out of the ring. Gunther with the jawbreaker on Flynn Rider. Irish whipped. It's for the float over neck breaker.
Going in the
Cover
cover.
in.
Hamburglar goes down.
Can Nick advance here? And a kick out at 1 by Flynn Rider. Uh-oh.
Look out.
Gunther looking maybe for the Philadelphia elbow, hits it, goes for the cover, and yeah, there's no way that was going to take place with Hamburglar in the ring.
Hamburglar is trying to take advantage of it because he knows Flynn Rider's down. If he can just incapacitate Nick for long enough, he might be able to get a pinfall.
He's been busted open, so with every heartbeat, he's losing more and more blood. That will obviously play a factor into endurance the longer this matchup takes place. Shot after shot in the corner by Hamburglar. Now with the kicks down into the lower midsection area, and Oh, I thought maybe he might be
Look
going
out.
for the power bomb there, but instead he'll get met with a steel chair from Flynn Rider. Oh, this could be perfect scenario if you're Flynn Rider, but a kick out at 1.
I don't know how you're able to kick out at 1 after getting hit in the face with a steel chair.
Flynn up over the top. Hamburglar, uh-oh, look out for that chair right there. Oh, I think he just barely missed it, but that's still a bad landing on the apron.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he quite made contact with the steel chair, but it's a brutal landing when your back goes to the apron like that. Absolutely no give.
All 3 men on the outside here. You won't see the referee initiate any type of a 10 count. No countouts in the triple threat rules. They can fight out here as long as they want to, but the pinfall submission have to take place inside of the ring. Sling Del Sol float over there by Flynn Rider. Hamburglar down and out. Oh gosh, oh no! Oh no!
Somebody check on him. Somebody send him on a medic or something.
Oh gosh! Ernest Wright just got Hurricane Ronin into next week. It may be Fallout already for him.
We might have to get a new referee for the rest of the show. How are you getting back up to his feet?
Oh man, workers' comp. Heel kick from Flynn Rider. Hamburglar to the outside. Referee Ernest Wright's on the other side of the ring. I think he's going to go into a different zip code from everybody for the rest of the night.
Big DDT by Flynn, trying to put this thing away.
To advance in this tournament into tonight's main event, kick out at 1 by Nick Gunther. Again, this is one of 3 triple threat qualifying matchups here tonight to determine who will be in the main event triple threat match. That will then determine the #1 contender for Carson Gumb's Wayfinder Cruiser Championship next week at Fallout as a full Nelson suplex by Hamburglar to Flynn Rider.
I don't think you need to drag him away from the ropes. There's no rope break in a triple threat.
Unless he was planning on maybe going up to the top rope for something there.
Wrenching on the arm again.
Trying to hyperextend that elbow. Maybe remove the shoulder from its socket. Float over neck breaker by Hamburglar. Gunther down. Code breaker by Flynn Rider.
Hamburglar just dropped like a sack of lead. And I mean, you can see there's blood now gushing from his forehead. That was a brutal landing.
Oh,
Oh, man,
got it up
so was
on the
that.
top rope there. Flynn Rider by Nick Gunther. Gunther's bleeding. Hamburglar's bleeding.
The war wounds are showing themselves in this matchup. It's only the first round matchup here in this triple threat tournament.
Yeah, think about this too. I mean, we don't know exactly how the other 2 triple threat qualifiers are going to go, but for whoever moves on here from this qualifier alone, you've got one more matchup you got to be a part of here tonight.
And then assuming you win that matchup, you have to take on Carson Gum at Fallout. So
In a week's time,
endurance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Covered
go.
by Gunther here on Hamburglar to advance in the tournament and kick out at 2.
I'm honestly not sure how he was able to kick out after that move that he took, the code breaker.
Another suplex there by Hamburglar. Oh, hold on. Might be
Armbar.
going maybe for the crossface. Crossface locked in. Nick Gunther's outside of the ring. Is Flynn going to tap out? Is Hamburglar's going to advance? He is!
Oh.
Flynn's tapping!
Good morning, class. Today we're going to learn the McDonald's menu song and give a listener out there a chance to win $1 million whiskey. So, repeat after me. No.
We mentioned it's been a while since he's been in an FWE ring. Statement win here for Hamburglar. Could we be looking into the eyes of the new #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship? We'll have to wait and find out. We've got another qualifier coming up next. Enzio, King Candy, and former Cruiserweight champion Cusco.
Got it? Got it. Okay, now.
Fall out in the air, breathing poison everywhere. Fall out, can't escape. We built a fire, now feel its weight.
Is a triple threat match way to the ring, from the internet, weighing in at 100 pounds, King
Oh, it would appear King Candy, former Tri-Wizard champion, has gone turbo.
Would indeed be the case, going back to his roots, if you will. I was about to say, we just learned from Hamburger, I guess he was proving that McDonald's counts as Thanksgiving food. Now King Candy is trying to prove that candy is also Thanksgiving food. But he went turbo for this matchup, and it'll be really interesting to see what he can do here in this tournament. As you mentioned, former Tri-Wizard champion.
and his opponents. First, from Abruzzo, Italy, weighing in at 228 pounds, the
Well, the last time that we saw Ezio in a ring, it was back just prior to Paramount. He was a part of that 8-man over-the-top rope battle royal to determine who the #1 contender was going to be for the United States Championship. Now an opportunity here tonight for the High Flyer to try and get himself into the conversation for the Cruiserweight title.
I almost feel as though he has something to prove entering this matchup tonight, because if you remember that 8-man matchup prior to Paramount, all of those opponents were hand-selected by the champion, Matt McIntyre. So Ezio probably feels like he still has something to prove going into this matchup here tonight.
representing from New York, weighing in at 185 pounds.
Well, an individual you're very familiar with. Mentioned he is a former holder of the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. Cusco was the inaugural winner of the title belt. Kind of interesting how things go full circle. Carson Gum, currently the holder of that title. It was actually Carson Gum who Cusco had his first title defense against in a ladder match.
Maybe a little bit of retribution there, although Cusco did retain the title in that instance. So, as you said, it does come full circle. It'll be really interesting to see if those two are the ones that end up meeting for that title when we get to fall in a week's time.
Second triple threat qualifier. We know that Hamburglar has already moved on. One of these 3 men will advance into the finals later on this evening. For Enzio, he's the only one that has not won a title here in FWE. Already documented Cusco, not only a former Wayfinder Cruiser champion, former tag team champion as well with his partner Kronk, and then we already documented as well King Candy. It only lasted for, I believe it was just a week, but he is a former Tri-Wizard champion in his own right.
Get all this matchup here. If you're just joining us, this is all to determine the #1 contender for Carson Gum, defending the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship at Fallout. Here's a cover by Ezio.
Cover in very early there by Ezio, trying to end this thing quickly. You got to think that these 3 individuals, while obviously they were focused on their upcoming matchup, they had to have had maybe a wandering eye on our monitors backstage, keeping a look at what was going on in that first triple threat match. And you got to think there's some takeaways for them in this, especially probably top of that list. End this thing as early as possible, because we saw not only the length that first qualifying matchup, how long that went, but also just how much physical, I don't even know what the word is I'm looking for.
The brutality.
Well, not just the mentality, but physical damage, I guess I could say, in that matchup there. We saw Nick Gunther, he was busted open. Even Hamburglar, who advances into the finals, he was busted open. I mean, there's not a whole lot left in the tank, I would think, when we get to the finals if you're Hamburglar. And whoever wins this, they want to make sure that they're at least fresher than that.
Yeah, I mean, the brutality in this matchup was insane. I mean, we even saw Ernest Wright take a Hurricane Rana. He looks like he's good to go, though.
He's a trooper.
That he is. Gotta give your referee some flowers, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh!
Nice Pop Rocks move there. Almost a destroyer in a way by Ezio to Cusco, who I am still amazed every time we see him in the ring. Somehow that hat stays on his head. I don't know how he manages to do that.
Well, again, triple threat rules, so you're going to start seeing some weaponry join the action here as you see Ezio gets out the steel chair. Oh, almost met the cranium of King Candy, but he instead reverses it, going into a submission. I think Ezio going to be able to fight his way out of this one.
Able to shift his hips, reverse that pressure. Right hands get him out of that situation. Here's Cusco now. He's got a chair.
He's waiting.
Oh, good Lord! I thought Ezio was supposed to be the assassin.
Cusco picked his moment, and it worked out in his favor. And now the small package into the pin.
Oh, and King Candy tried to break it up that first time. It actually didn't work. Had to try a second time. That could have been very costly, and Cusco could have already been advanced into the final triple threat here tonight.
He definitely could have stolen that one. I think he was a little bit surprised. He thought maybe he broke up the pin, and then the 2 count came immediately after.
Again, as we've documented, this is all going to be determining who the #1 contender is going to be against Carson Gum next week at Fallout, December 4th, for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. Our Fallout card, it's almost complete. Just a couple more things to determine. We already know that it'll be a steel cage match, fatal 4-way, Susan Storm, Ellie, Shuri, and Kim Possible for the inaugural Women's Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship. We know that Mario and Luigi are going to get their first opportunity at the Men's Disney Tag Team titles, as they will take on the current champions Donatello and Leonardo of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Backstage Brawl is going to be the next saga for the family and the Rockers, as covered here by King Candy off the DDT, and I think Ezio got the left shoulder up at 2. Cole Eastwood, Anthony McCray of the Rockers taking on Michael Norman, Matt McIntyre of the Family. Backstage Brawl, no rules. And we also know that the Hardcore Championship will be on the line. Triple threat, Wonder Woman defending against Jessica Shelton and Harley Quinn. Our main event at Fallout, Extreme Rules for the Tri-Wizard Championship. My broadcast colleague Jack Mitchell taking on Dylan Young.
Going through the card there, King Candy his back got dropped onto that steel chair. It looks like he's none the worse for wear, though. He's fighting back as hard as he can. And of course, one other matchup. We've talked about the Cruiserweight Championship and this triple threat tournament going on here tonight, but something else to keep in mind is that between the 3 semifinal matches and the finals, there's a Pop Rocks, there's a cover.
Kick out at 1.
But before we have our final here in the main event, we're also going to be determining the #1 contender for Mulan and the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy.
Absolutely will. We're going to have Poison Ivy, Black Widow,
Pin.
former Women's World Champion Elizabeth Swan, and Moana. We saw just this past week Black Widow and Poison Ivy pick up a victory in tag team action, and something we'll be talking about in that one too was it kind of seemed like Moana was a little lackadaisical in getting to breaking up the pinfall there, and then tag team partner Elizabeth Swan ended up getting pinned by Poison Ivy. We'll have to see if there's going to be any dissension between those two when the bell rings tonight.
Definitely. I mean, that was onto the back of the chair as well. I mean, yeah, during that matchup, I said it at the time, and I still think it was just more of a mental test than anything else for those competitors, because at the end of the day, the win and loss in that matchup, you know, yes, it may hurt your individual record in FWE, but it doesn't really affect whether or not you're in the title picture. You still have the title shot tonight that you're going to be focusing on.
Candy now back in the ring here with Cusco. Whoa, nice kick to the back of the head. What is Cusco thinking here? Oh, gosh. I think he used the ropes for a suplex there. I've not seen that before.
I haven't seen anyone try to slide under something like that before. That was insane.
And just went to work on Ezio there with the drop kick on the outside. Perfect scenario right now if you're Cusco or King Candy. One-on-one situation.
Candy trying to take full advantage. It's that move on the back, and now grabbing the legs, maybe looking for the sharpshooter. Yep. It's locked in. Oh, with the drop kick by Ezio breaks it up.
Oh, good Lord. Bounced into the referee. I think his head might have actually bounced off that steel chair. Here's cover here by Ezio on Cusco, and Referee Ernest Wright wasn't even able to get down to his knees for a count before King Candy broke that up.
We talked about the brutality that happened in the last match, and now this one definitely up there. Oh, he's going to go into the cover. Kuzco's stunned on the ropes, now just barely gets enough awareness to break that pin up before a 1 count again.
Kuzco might have been taking the opportunity to kind of catch his breath, regain some strength there, but certainly did have the wherewithal to be able to break up that pinfall, as now grapevines the legs. Oh, and just stomps King Candy straight down into the canvas. Going for the cover, but yeah, Ezio is standing right there watching it all. No way he was going to allow that pinfall to take place.
I feel like the last few pin or submission attempts, they haven't been timed very well, because you got to wait until the third participant in this matchup is incapacitated.
Oh, wait a minute. We saw Hamburglar advance via a crossface. Kuzco trying to do the same here.
Oh.
Wow.
That is brutal for Ezio. He was stuck in that crossface, and then King Candy breaks it up with a kick to his face. It's already being stuck in that submission.
Half Nelson suplex by Kuzco. Ezio still down. He might be out from that kick. Now stirring.
Might take him just a little bit to regain his senses.
Whoa, 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 hold on. Was going
Roll
for
up.
a suplex. Roll up here. Shoulders are down. Can Kuzco pick up the small package? He did. What a reversal.
The roll-up pin victory, catching Ezio off guard, and just like that, the former Cruiserweight champion has another opportunity to get himself into a #1 contendership spot.
One thing we have never been able to call here yet in FWE is a repeat winner in the Cruiserweight division. We could be talking about that by the time we get to Fallout. Still got a third qualifying matchup to take place. It's up next. Peter Pan, Shaggy, and Kyle Matthews.
Fall out in the air, breathing poison everywhere. Fall out, can't escape. We built the fire, now feel its weight.
It's a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring, representing the corporation from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing in at 126 pounds, Shaggy Rogers.
Two have advanced, one still remains. As we are one step closer to determining the #1 contender for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship in 1 week's time at Fallout. We saw a former Tri-Wizard champion in the last triple threat in King Candy. Here is another, and Shaggy Rogers, who won the title from Dylan Young all the way back at Sugar Rush, lost it, I believe it was the following week in a ladder match, but Shaggy Rogers, it's been a while since he's had any type of a title belt strapped around his waist, looking for the opportunity here in a week's time.
It'll be really interesting to see what Shaggy does with this new opportunity. Like you said, it has been a minute since he was in the championship picture, really in any division.
And just checking my notes, it was actually Fantasia where he ended up winning the title belt.
And his opponents, first, from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 197 pounds, Kyle Matthews.
Well, we already know that one half of the Thrill Seekers will be in action next week at Fallout in the main event, that Extreme Rules match for the Tri-Wizard Championship. Kyle Matthews, the other half of that duo, would love to be at Fallout as well. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, it would be his first appearance at a PLE here in FWE as he makes his bid for Cruiserweight Championship gold.
And a little bit interesting, I guess I'll say, for in terms of keeping it as neutral as I can in terms of commentary. Obviously, I feel like the Thrill Seekers were a lot more fun to watch as a tag team. Granted, they're very good in the ring, so I'm not gonna say Kyle doesn't deserve a title shot here, but at the same time, his best friend is somebody who absolutely does not.
And from parts unknown, weighing in at 100 pounds,
No, it's interesting to bring that up too, because I've actually tried talking with Kyle backstage, kind of get his opinions on what he thinks about what's been going down there with this new attitude we've seen out of Dylan Young, and really haven't been able to get much out of him. I'm not exactly sure where he stands as far as his opinion in that.
Peter Pan's another guy that we haven't seen in action either for a while, so looking forward to seeing what he can do in this matchup. I believe I actually took him on at one point in a number 1 contenders match for this title.
Now the Cruiserweight division, nobody in that is afraid to fly. Peter Pan certainly very at home when he's got his feet off the ground. Here we go. Our final triple threat qualifier. Winner will go on to face off against both Hamburglar and Cusco, who have already advanced in their qualifying matchups in tonight's main event to determine number 1 contender for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. And just based off of the previous 2 matchups, Cusco would appear to be the freshest. Since his matchup ended fairly early, he was able to, in most senses, stay pretty physically in it. We know Hamburglar kind of went the limit both physically and mentally in his matchup. So we'll have to see now here with this 3rd matchup how long it lasts.
These guys will get a little bit of a rest because, as I mentioned earlier tonight, after this matchup right here, before the finals in our main event, we're going to be determining the number 1 contender for the women's world title in a fatal 4-way. So that match could take some time as well. So that'll be enough time for these guys to maybe catch their breath a little bit before going into the number 1 contenders match on their own side.
Peter Pan steals share. Shaggy not going to allow him to use it, and now, flatliner there. He also kind of had I don't know what you would necessarily call it, almost a chokehold it seemed there on Peter Pan as he delivered that move. Peter propped up in the corner. Kyle stunned up against the ropes. Big chop there from Shaggy, now going to work on the leg.
One thing I'm kind of noticing with Shaggy in this matchup, too, as he gets Hurricane Rana to the ground, but it feels like he has a pretty clear height advantage compared to the other competitors. We haven't really seen that much in the other 2 matchups so far tonight.
Great point. Big drop kick in the corner there by Peter Pan. Here's the cover. Almost had that timed perfectly, but Shaggy able to get into the ring and break that up at 1.
It was great timing moving into the pin after dropping him from the turnbuckle pads in the corner. Oh, man.
Falcon driver from Shaggy to Peter Pan, and Kyle right there to capitalize. Now he'll look for a back body drop. I believe he had that right arm kind of wrapped behind the back, so Shaggy actually landed on his arm at the same time that move was delivered, and now an Alabama slam.
That's a brutal Alabama slam, but now the DDT from Peter Pan.
Might not want to be showboating right now, Peter. You got an opportunity, both individuals down.
He lands in the drop kick, but Kyle Matthews is able to recover from that.
Irish whipped into the corner. Shaggy now going to prop him up on the top turnbuckle. This can't be good.
Look out.
Oh, man! Top rope bulldog.
Peter trying to take advantage. The Hurricane Rana into the pin.
He's got the
Kyle's
cover.
Down. Kick out before a 1 count. I'm a little surprised at that.
Well, I mean, you talked about that height advantage for Shaggy, maybe not able to lock in that pin quite as easily on a bigger individual if you're Peter.
Oh, Kyle gonna go for a submission, but it's quickly broken up. Oh, turns his attention to Shaggy.
Look at this. Bench pressing Shaggy above his head. Shaggy bad landing down on his gut. And now has Peter up. Power slam.
Kyle in control of this matchup. Shaggy gonna look for some toys.
German suplex. Follows it up with a buckshot lariat.
Oh.
And then gets met with a kendo stick. Right to the dome cover in by Shaggy, and somehow Kyle kicks out at 1. And look at it, must have hit right on the side of his face. Might have scraped the skin right off the side of his face there around the right eye.
You can see blood all over the side of his head. I mean, that was perfect timing from Shaggy. You know, he waited until that lariat connected onto Peter Pan and then hit him in the head with a kendo stick. It's a legal maneuver in a triple threat. Oh, look out. His dreams are about to be shattered.
No. Oh my gosh.
And
Cover
quickly into the
in.
cover.
Peter Pan able to break that up, but well, Shaggy won't be moving fast for the rest of this matchup.
That's one of the more brutal moves that we have here in FWE.
Hurricane Rana now from Peter Pan. Shaggy to the outside. Kyle Matthews with a nice move there. Oh, he's going to hoist him up. Might be maybe looking for the running power slam. Hits it. Surprised he didn't go for the cover right there. Would have been a perfect opportunity. Could be costly.
Almost wonder if maybe he knew that Shaggy was stirring and getting back to his feet. Oh, by the time he turns his attention
knows
to him,
now.
the drop kick.
Shot to the gut by Kyle Matthews. Now Peter Pan gonna bring Shaggy over to the corner. Uh-oh, maybe sliced bread.
Look at Kyle, though. He's timing this perfectly.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, look at
Dispose of
this.
Peter! He's gonna try and steal one here! Kyle Matthews into the cover! And the heist will work!
Here is your winner,
That is textbook triple threat.
I mean, I can't say it's my favorite tactic to win a match, but you know what? It counts just as much. It's just incredible ring awareness there from Kyle Matthews to win the match and move on to the final in our Thanksgiving Triple Threat Tournament.
So we now know it's gonna be Kyle Matthews, Cusco, and my mind just blanked. Thank you, Hamburglar in that triple threat. Up next, #1 contendership in the women's division.
Fall out in the air, breathing poison everywhere. Fall out, can't escape. We built the fire, now feel its weight.
The following is a fatal four-way match. Making her way to the ring, representing the crew from Kingston, Jamaica, Elizabeth Turner.
Elizabeth all the way back at Sugar Rush when Elizabeth Swan cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase to become Women's World Champion of the Galaxy. She would eventually lose the title in a 2 out of 3 tables match to the current Women's Champion, Mulan, but trying to get back into the title picture to be a 2-time Women's World Champion tonight. Gonna have to get through 3 other women in a #1 contenders fatal 4-way.
Everyone involved in this match has a very legitimate claim to being the #1 contender for the Women's World title. But it feels like Elizabeth Swan, definitely one of the more valid claims, if you will. Not that anyone else's claim isn't valid, but she had the 162-day title reign, so I'm gonna try and return to the top of the mountain on the women's side of things here in FWE.
Another argument that she had as well was in her title rematch. Ended up getting distracted by Mulan's fellow Disney Queens member Jasmine's entrance music, so felt that it wasn't a fair fight. And here tonight, an opportunity to get another shot at Mulan and that championship.
And her opponents, first representing Havoc from parts unknown,
Poison Ivy, very few matches here in FWE, but has made quite an impact. Of course, we saw her take Elizabeth Swan to the limit in a one-on-one matchup a few months ago, but also think about mentality here. You talked about, the wins and losses don't really matter, but last week in that tag team matchup, it was Elizabeth Swan who took the pinfall. It was Poison Ivy who got the pinfall victory. Does that do anything for momentum or lack thereof for either of these two individuals coming into this Fatal 4-Way?
Well, I think it definitely does very well if you're Poison Ivy, because you have that mentality that you were the one who was able to get the pinfall win. So you have that in the back of your mind at least. You're in a good headspace going into this matchup. I'm not sure what that will do, though, if you're anyone else in this match.
And representing the Dangerous Alliance from Moscow, Russia, the Spider Black.
Well, Black Widow's claim to #1 contendership for the Women's World Championship was the fact that she made Moana tap out. Moana has a pinfall victory over the current Women's World Champion, so Black Widow feeling that she should be pretty close to the top of the totem pole in that conversation. And hey, if Black Widow is able to win here tonight and advance to Fallout, she and her tag team partner Shuri will both be in that PLE card. As we know, Shuri is going to be in that Fatal 4-Way, that steel cage match to fight for the brand new Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship.
Definitely not the way they planned it, because they were supposed to be a tag team for quite some time.
Representing the Islanders from Honolulu, Hawaii, Montana.
I say supposed to be a tag team. They are still a tag team. Let's not get that confused. At the same time, they were probably hoping that they would be the tag team champions on the women's side of their advancement in that women's tournament before Paramount failed. So pursuing some singles titles for a little bit.
Moana, as we kind of alluded to, it was leading up to Paramount after Mulan had won the Royal Rumble. It was just a simple one-on-one matchup between Mulan and Moana, and Moana picked up the victory. According to Moana, she then pinned the champ to be, which puts her at the front of the line for a Women's World Championship matchup. But just like everybody else here, going to have to fight your way through a Fatal 4-Way to be able to have a sniff of that Women's World Championship next week.
I mean, I do think you have a very valid claim there, too, if you're Moana, because you pinned the champ to be, but at the same time, the mentality changes once you have the gold around your waist.
Last week in tag team action, you had to work together. There are no friends in this Fatal 4-Way. It is one versus all. First pinfall, first submission, goes to Fallout to fight for the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy.
And just like every other match we've seen here tonight, and we're going to see in the main event, there's no DQ, no countouts. This can get as chaotic as they want.
To that point, both Black Widow and Elizabeth Swan, former hardcore champions. Of course, Poison Ivy, a member of Havoc, along with former hardcore champion Harley Quinn, as she gets a dropkick delivered to her in the corner. A nice kick there to Moana. They were tag team partners last week, not anymore.
Elizabeth Swan is flying out there to start this one. Went for some kind of a spinning head scissors, but nobody was there. Oh, the pop rocks into the cover.
Moana spotted that. I think she was able to actually break that up with a kick to the side of Elizabeth Swan's head, who now delivers a DDT to Poison Ivy.
Black Widow going to be the first one who brings weaponry into the matchup. Oh, Moana, you better watch out.
Oh,
Right to the knee.
we've seen a bit of a mini rivalry here between Black Widow and Moana. They've faced off a couple of times. Hold the phone here. Elizabeth Swan's got a pin on Poison Ivy inside of the ring and a kick out at 1. We saw in mixed match tag team action, we saw Moana pick up a victory on Black Widow, albeit maybe a little bit of an asterisk next to it, as referee Ernest Wright's eyesight was not on par that evening. And then in a one-on-one matchup, Black Widow forced Moana to tap out to the Black Widow submission. So those two, they've been at it before, and looks like they're kind of rekindling here in this fatal four-way.
Yeah, they are. And it might be a little bit less one-sided because we saw that during that exchange, Moana was actually the first person who ended up back in the ring to try to break up that pin attempt. Speaking of pins, one
Covered
in the
here by
corner.
Black Widow and a kick out. Meanwhile, where in the world is
Look out.
Moana going?
Oh, I don't know if you want to be the drop zone for this. Poison Ivy rolls out of the way.
Oh, Black Widow, I don't know what she's doing there. She might want to move. Oh, gosh. Top rope poison Rana from Moana to Elizabeth Swan.
Elizabeth rolls right out of the ring. That was a brutal one. And now a kick to the head into the cover, but Poison Ivy right there to break it up before one count.
Going to be even tougher here for these women as, looking maybe for the Ivy Vine submission here is Poison Ivy. Got it locked in on Black Widow. Look at Moana, gonna stop Elizabeth Swan from getting involved. Gonna hit a pop-up bulldog.
And if you're Moana, I don't know why you don't just break that up. Now she's gonna pay for it.
Yes, she is. An Ivy Vine now for Moana, and Elizabeth Swan goes to break that up. If Moana or Black Widow had tapped out, Poison Ivy would be the new #1 contender.
Kick to the head. Black Widow still focused on Moana there. This time with a kendo stick.
Big uppercut to the back of the head there by Poison Ivy. Moana's down. Black Widow is down. Now Elizabeth Swan, not sure. Looks like she might be moving Moana into position for something. Doesn't matter. Poison Ivy gonna intercept.
Shots to the head on the ground.
Of course, coming up right after this, our main event, the final triple threat of the night. Kyle Matthews, Cusco, and Hamburglar to determine who's going to face Carson Gunn for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship next week at Fallout.
Poison Ivy gonna go into the cover here. Quick kick out by Elizabeth Swan and a drop kick to the steel chair by Moana. Oh, look out.
Oh, interesting there. Poison Ivy had a chance to maybe get Moana with a steel chair, thought better of it. Oh, missed the pump kick, gets met with a kendo stick. And now DDT onto the floor from Elizabeth Swan.
She paid for her indecision, and now we've got kendo sticks, we've got chairs everywhere. There's a huge big kick to the head. Oh, goodness.
And now everybody's down except Black Widow. She could pick who she wants to maybe put back in the ring here.
And who
No
do you think
surprise,
she goes
I was
for?
gonna say.
You've got free choice right there. You're gonna go after Moana and continue the rivalry there. Oh, I think Moana went for some kind of drop kick, but instead got met with a boot from Poison Ivy, who gets tossed back in the ring.
Elizabeth Swan bounced off the ring apron face first. Poison
Oh!
Ivy suicide dive.
Oh, and look out!
Oh gosh! Just swinging Black Widow into that apron.
If neither Moana or Black Widow wins this matchup, I feel like there's going to be a match between the two again in the future. This
one would
score feels
certainly
like it's far
think.
from settled. Facebuster there in the back.
Again, you see referee Ernest Wright just standing there in the ring. He's got nothing to do until any of these women get inside of the ring where the pinfall or submission can take place. Black Widow is in there right now, nobody else.
Look at Elizabeth Swan. Those kicks were connecting to both
Yeah,
heads
2 for
of her
1.
opponents.
Oh, no protection from Moana as she's sent rib first into the steel steps. Falcon driver on the outside there by Elizabeth Swan to Black Widow, and Poison Ivy creates a little bit of space there.
Doing a good job dodging those maneuvers, but now gets grabbed and sent right into the barricade. Dodges the dropkick attempt.
Moana Black Widow on the far side there. Moana sent almost to the barricade. Follows up with a facebuster to Poison Ivy. Elizabeth Swann all alone in the ring. A little bit of an opportunity to catch her breath, get a little bit of rest here.
And hopefully not hit Ernest right with a Hurricane Rana.
Right.
He's probably thinking, please don't hit me with one of those things.
It's about the safest he's felt all night. All the competitors on the outside of the ring. And now a little ring around the rosy going on here. Swann following Widow, Ivy following Swann. They're all gonna meet over here close to us as Widow into the steel steps. Multiple kicks, takes down Elizabeth Swann.
The Sharks were circling for a moment, but now Poison Ivy has the advantage over Elizabeth Swann. Oh, huge
Dang!
kick.
Oh, look out! I'm not
I don't
sure if
know
that suicide dive connected really or not.
I don't think it did. Neither of the standing opponents were really affected by it.
Moana, after that drop kick, might have actually hit face first in the steel steps, and now Poison Ivy has
Oh,
Elizabeth
no.
Swann up and down on the barricade. Not just the impact on the shoulders, but the whiplash on the neck.
That affects the neck, that affects the back of your head. I mean, that hurts.
If you're the Women's World Champion, Mulan, you've got to love the fact this matchup is going on as long as it is. The punishment that's being dished out, no way when you put the title on the line next week that your opponent's going to be at 100% with what we've seen so far in this fatal four-way match, regardless of who moves on.
Absolutely, and I think some other people that are enjoying the length of this match right now are the three finalists in our Thanksgiving Triple Threat Tournament. They've got a little bit more time now to kind of catch their breath before that final in our main event coming up next.
Great point. Float over stunner there on Poison Ivy. Elizabeth Swann met into the steel steps as for her reward. And now we're back here with Moana. Well, I was going to say Black Widow. I thought she was going to get into the ring, but instead decides not to. Moana with a diving cross body. I don't know if she connected maybe a little bit with Elizabeth Swann, but took just as much out of her as it did anybody else.
Oh! These moves ringside, these are brutal landings. There's that carpeting, and then it's only about an inch of carpeting above the concrete floor. Maybe less than that.
Kicks and knees and forearms, just hard striking here outside of the ring. Again, the pinfall submission has to take place inside of the ring. We've had a couple of them get inside the ring. Now it looks like we're going to have Ivy and Moana in here.
I mean, they've been brutalized this whole matchup, so I feel like this one move inside the ring could be all it takes.
Oh, what in the world? We've seen Moana already make a move from the top rope. What is she thinking here?
Oh, with a top rope Poison Rana again.
Oh, no.
This could end the whole match if it's successful.
Certainly could. If you're Black Widow or Elizabeth Swann, you got to be aware of what's going on inside the ring right now. If Moana hits this, this could be it.
Oh, I feel like it took just as much out of her as it did Ivy.
Can't capitalize as of right now. It is indeed awesome here. Code breaker, double knees to the chin by Moana. She's gonna go for the cover. No, instead brings Poison Ivy back up to her feet again.
She wants to dish out even more punishment, but at some point you're gonna go to the well one too many times here. Look out! Look at
Oh
the feet!
my gosh! Turned inside out with that clothesline. Cover is in, and both Elizabeth Swann and Black Widow back into the ring.
They just barely realized what was going on. I mean, that could have ended the whole match if nobody else got inside the ring.
There's the cutter! Pirate's plunge! Poison Ivy kicked out of this before. Can she do so again? Won't need to. I don't think she would have. I
don't
think
think she would've
Elizabeth
either.
Swann was advancing if Moana hadn't broken that up.
You got lucky that Moana was right there to break that one up. Now, another code breaker. This has been insane.
All for #1 contendership for the Women's World Championship. Sling blade there by Moana. Drop kick to Black Widow. Swann is down. Black Widow rolling to the outside. We're back to Ivy and Moana, and Ivy's gonna look for that Ivy Vine submission again. Nobody to save Moana. Oh, hang on, here's Black Widow. Here's Elizabeth Swann. Black Widow didn't break it up, but Swann did. Oh, the mist! The miss from Poison Ivy! Cover is in, and Moana will break it up at 1.
Oh, I don't know know if Elizabeth Swann likes to see that, because that mist, it's going to be blinding. It's going to be all kinds of pain right in the eyes for the rest of the matchup, which now continues because it was broken up. That pinfall didn't connect.
This is insane. This is all the feeling of a title should be on the line at this point with what these four women have brought to the table in this fatal four-way. Again, this is just to be the #1 contender when you get to Fallout, and this has been, I think, our longest match of the night. We've had 3 triple threat matches, and this has been the longest match so far here this evening.
Well, rivalries here in this matchup definitely run deep. All 4 of these women definitely displaying why they feel like they deserve a title opportunity.
Ivy and Widow squaring out right in front of us as Black Widow bounced right off of our announce desk. Poison Ivy the only one on her feet right now. Moana now up to her feet. Black Widow with a kip up.
I feel like Poison Ivy was maybe hoping there that Black Widow and Moana would focus on each other, as it feels like they have been for most of this matchup. I mean, if you're Ivy or Swann, you could take advantage of that. You could take advantage of the fact that those two have been only focusing on really each other. Look at this.
Oh, look at this. Well, they worked together kind of last week. Little co-opetition right there to try and take out Poison Ivy.
You can get one of them out of the way.
Float over stunner.
Oh, man.
Oh, and a Hurricane Rana from Elizabeth Swann to Black Widow. And now Swann back into the ring. Moana lurking. And again, changes priorities, goes right back after Black Widow with the Hurricane Rana.
Elizabeth Swann was focusing on all that. Oh, was that another code breaker? I think
so.
Or something similar.
Now Moana working on the arm of Elizabeth Swann in the corner. Poison Ivy. She'd be looking for that Ivy Vine again. Got it locked in. Swann is stunned in the corner. Black Widow comes in and will break it up this time. Oh, look at this. Whoa, trying to steal the pin. Poison Ivy says, not so fast.
Not quite a covert operation there.
Moonsault by Ivy. Cover is in. Elizabeth Swann's on the outside. Black Widow's propped up in the corner. And Poison Ivy is the new #1 contender.
Here is your winner, Ivy.
Well, Poison Ivy, I feel like, definitely stole that one. Black Widow was stuck in the corner, didn't really know where she was, and perfect capitalization on the opportunity. Poison Ivy gonna challenge Mulan for the Women's World Championship at Fallout in a week's time.
In terms of experience, certainly the least amount, but her first opportunity at Championship Gold here in FWE will be next week at the Fallout PLE. Up next, it's the final triple threat to determine the #1 contender for the Cruiserweights.
Fallout, fallout in the air, breathing poison everywhere. Fallout, fallout, can't escape. We built a fire, now feel its weight.
Good morning, class. Today we're going to learn the McDonald's menu songs and get a listener out there a chance to win $1 million. So repeat after me. Repeat after me. No.
Making his way to the ring from the internet. Your name is 165 pounds.
It is indeed the final matchup in our Thanksgiving Triple Threat Tournament tonight. One of these 3 individuals will find a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving, as they will be the new #1 contender to fight for the Cruiserweight Championship next week at Fallout. And as you alluded to as well, Jack, that women's fatal 4-way went on pretty lengthy, so big opportunity for individuals, specifically Hamburglar here, who I believe had the longest of the triple threat qualifiers, to recover some strength here in preparation for this final triple threat match.
Guys definitely got some time to kind of collect their thoughts, heal any injuries they might have sustained, and getting themselves ready for the final matchup of the night. Of course, we cannot wait to be in Las Vegas next week for Fallout, but we've got one more #1 contendership spot to reserve before that.
Absolutely. We've got, if you will, one more piece of the puzzle before we know the official card for FWE Fallout. As Kuzco, out of the 3 qualifying matchups, he had the shortest. Was able to get that roll-up victory to advance him in this tournament. Opportunity to be a multi-time cruiserweight champion if he can become the #1 contender here in this final triple threat match. And I know it's obviously way too early to say, but just based off what we've seen here tonight, Hamburglar, the longest qualifying matchup, he suffered an injury. Kyle Matthews, second longest qualifying matchup, he suffered an injury. Kuzco, the shortest amount of time in his qualifying matchup, and he wasn't busted open. Does the advantage early on in this matchup go to the former Wayfinder Cruiser champ?
I would say so. I mean, anything can happen in a triple threat matchup with the involvement of weapons, the lack of DQ, and things like that, but I feel like it really helps when you go into a matchup fresh while your other competitors have had to spend time, a little bit of extra time in the medical room, checking over some injuries, checking over some lacerations on the head, things like that. It can be a bit of a mental thing as well. You don't have to worry about that stuff if you're Kuzco going into a matchup like this. You can just kind of take your time, rest up as much as you can, and wait.
Well, the night off for the current Wayfinder Cruiser champion Carson Gunn, but I guarantee you he's been glued to his TV monitor backstage, observing these qualifying matchups. He will be watching with bated breath here who his future opponent is going to be next week. His first title defense at Fallout since winning that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship from Harry Potter back at FWE Paramount. As looks like Hamburglar and Kuzco kind of mixing it up here. Kyle Matthews kind of more than willing to just stand back and watch it all unfold.
Taking his time, being as patient as you possibly can be. The triple threat, again, it's all about timing. Make sure you choose your moments. Wait for when one competitor has the other one down.
That's exactly how all 3 of these individuals advanced in their respective qualifying matchups here. Now Kyle rolls to the outside. Big slam there from Kuzco to Hamburglar.
Here comes the first weapon. Kuzco's not looking.
Oh, wow! Barely saw it the last minute and punched it out of Kyle Matthews' hands.
I thought it just bounced off of his head and he didn't feel it.
If that's the case, I want to know what brand of hat he wears. Forget a bike helmet, I'll just wear that thing.
I was going to say, it might have been the same one as the Mario Bros wear, but the Mario Bros take their hats off for their matches. Here's a cover, quickly going to be broken up, I think, yeah.
Oh, wow, Hamburglar with a nice move there. Almost a face lock suplex there on Kuzco. Kyle Matthews now looking for a suplex of his own.
Oh. Tried to deliver another one, I think, to Kuzco, but Kuzco counters with his own.
Love to be a fly on the wall backstage. I don't know if Carson would have a specific one of these 3 that he would want to face off against, and if so, what his reasonings would be.
I mean, you don't really get a choice, but...
No, you don't.
Inform your opinions of the competitors however you want, but at the end of the day, whoever has their arm raised when the bell rings is your opponent at the PLE next week.
I mean, I just speaking from myself personally, I feel like bottom of the list would probably have to be Hamburglar. I don't want to be standing across the ring from that guy.
I mean, he seemed to celebrate quite a bit when he won his first matchup of the night, but then we saw that cold stare into the camera, and it's like, ugh.
I believe Hamburglar's already been busted open. He was busted open earlier in his qualifying matchup, so it doesn't take much to reopen up that wound.
It's tossed in the corner. We almost had another stripe, meeting of the stripes happening here. Saw a few of those during the first matchup of the night.
Did.
Oh! Kick to the sternum there from Kuzco. That's when Kyle thought he had him in trouble.
Big chop in the corner. Where in the world is Kuzco going?
What is this?
Oh, looks like maybe a guillotine choke there, suspending Kyle Matthews up above the ring. All legal in a triple threat rules matchup that normally you would end up having maybe about a 5 count to release that hold, but Kuzco could have held it as long as he wanted to here in this triple threat rules.
Things like that wear down your competitors. It's almost like when you go for a submission outside the ring. It's not going to win the match unless it's false count anywhere. But it's going to wear your opponent down and make it harder for them to, you know, they're going to be fighting with their body basically to try and pull off all the moves that they normally try to pull off to win matches. If Kyle's not careful, he might be on the receiving end of this kendo stick.
He's got Kuzco up and down
Oh.
for the Alabama slam. Goes in for the cover here, and Hamburglar says, heck with the kendo stick. He goes to break up that pinfall right away. Swinging neck breaker here, cover in. This could maybe be perfect timing if you're Hamburglar. But Kyle Matthews kicks out at 1.
Not too sure if Kuzco is going to get there in time, so I think he's pretty fortunate that Kyle was able to kick out.
Knee to the gut by Kuzco to Hamburglar. Will roll to the outside. Kuzco now working on that left arm of Kyle Matthews. Oh, wow. Low basement clothesline there from Kuzco.
That was aggressive. Oh, look out.
Oh,
Oh!
oh, good Lord.
Get a chair out of this man's hands, please. I mean, he got it out of his own hands, but you get the idea.
Don't think that cap saved Kuzco that time.
No, I definitely don't. I'm not sure what move Hamburglar was setting up there for, but he never got a chance to, or not Hamburglar, Kuzco was setting up there for, but he never got a chance to use it.
Look at this, locking in a heel hook submission right in the center of the ring, though there are no rope breaks in a triple threat match. Kuzco going to be able to fight out of it, but that was a good move there by Hamburglar because Kyle Matthews was incapacitated on the outside of the ring.
Oh!
That'll drive the wind out of you real quick.
The steel chair might have been between them, too.
Thought for a moment Hamburglar might have been going for the crossface. That's how he ended up advancing here in this tournament in his triple threat. He got Flynn Rider to tap out. Suplex into the bridge, 1 count there, and now
Oh, man.
looked like maybe a shining wizard there from Kuzco to Kyle Matthews. Matthews suffered the head injury in his qualifier, and I believe he's been busted back open.
Yeah,
So
I
it
think
didn't
that-
take much for either Hamburglar or Kyle Matthews to have those wounds reopened up.
Endurance. It's a big, big factor in this matchup with these 3 men already having fought 1 match tonight.
And only 1 week to recover as there's a small package suplex into the pin. Kyle Matthews breaks it up and big shots to the gut. Kuzco. Oh my gosh, what a throw.
Man. Matchup, I think the brutality is really starting to show itself now. Which is something that you love to see if you're the champion, Carson Gum.
This is the second match that all 3 of these individuals have been in here tonight. They had to qualify into this triple threat and now have to fight once again for #1 contendership for next week at Fallout. There's a nice double arm suplex there by Hamburglar to Kuzco. Uh-oh, hold on.
Oh no.
Is he looking maybe for the figure 4? No, instead, might be looking for the stomp to put out Kyle's lights.
And that he does. Gonna
Shoots
roll
the half.
into the cover. I'm not sure
Cover
what
is in. Kuzco gonna get there in time.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure what Kuzco was doing there for a moment there, but he just barely managed to get back inside the ring. Now has Hamburglar up and down on the top rope.
Guillotined is now Kyle Matthews with the clothesline. Didn't really connect on that. He connects with this one though.
Oh.
Neckbreaker to Hamburglar, and now all 3 individuals down.
This was for a title. This would probably be where you see Hulk come out with the Money in the Bank.
Right? Wow, big slam there from Kyle Matthews.
Oh, he's not
hold
done.
on. Package pile driver attempt. Cusco able to reverse. Kyle had hit that. That might have been it.
Not just for the match, but for Cusco's career, probably.
Shot low there by Hamburglar. Kyle with a clothesline might have caught Hamburglar in the back of the neck. Now Cusco, not sure what he was attempting to do there. May have taken a little too long. Kyle with the elbows to fight out, and full Nelson suplex from Hamburglar.
But there's Kyle, and Hamburglar turns his attention right to the other man.
Snap suplex. Cover in to be #1 contender and kick out at 2.
Look at the blood on Kyle's face. I think his nose is probably cracked open.
Stomp right to that nose. Oh, hold on. Here's the crossface right on that nose as well. Cusco breaks that up.
These two trying to pick their moments as backdrop across the knee. Here we go.
Cover in. Kyle is not going to be able to get there to break it up. Fortunately for him, Hamburglar kicked out. Cusco nearly became #1 contender right there. Big uppercuts from Matthews. Irish whipped off the ropes. Big slam in the center of the ring.
Elbow drop for good measure, and now here comes Hamburglar. Had a moment outside the ring, and now a huge uppercut.
Gosh.
Another one. Now turns his attention to Cusco. Kyle rolls out of the ring.
Trying to lock in an armbar here. I would assume that's a submission, but referee Ernest Wright didn't appear to be asking Cusco about if he wanted to give up. Now here's the cover to advance to Fallout, and Cusco slips out at 2.
Kyle was not getting there in time.
No, that's twice that Kyle wouldn't have gotten there in time. He's been fortunate that the other individual kicked out.
Definitely had intentions of breaking that one up, but timing is everything. You gotta go.
Oh, look at this. Whoa, hold on. Oh my gosh!
Hamburglar in full control.
Oh, wow!
Oh, I'm surprised he doesn't go for the cover here. If he went for the cover on Kyle, that probably could have been it.
Clothesline to Matthews, suplex to Cusco. Hamburglar is firmly in control right now.
Oh, Kyle.
This German suplex. Oh, and now he'll turn Hamburglar inside out with a clothesline. Up and down with the Uranagi.
This is it. He goes for the pin. It's over. Oh, no.
Oh,
he's
he's not.
gonna get
He's
that even more
waiting.
punishment.
Now maybe looking for that package pile driver. Hits it on Hamburglar. Cusco's back to his feet though. If he'd gone for that pin before, we might have had him go into Fallout. Oh no.
Oh, submission's locked in.
Locks in that heel hook there. Kyle gonna be able to fight out of it, and this just buys valuable time for Hamburglar, and now I believe Cusco's been busted open. All 3 men in this matchup have been lacerated.
The war room showing themselves, but the prize makes it all worth it. You win this matchup, you're the #1 contender for a title at Fallout next week.
Looking for another stomp is Hamburglar. Going for the cover, Cusco. I don't think he knows where he's at. Oh, now he gets his senses back there and breaks it up at 1.
Just in the nick of time, figured out what was going on. Kyle again sent to the outside.
Oh, wow, another full Nelson suplex there from Cusco to Hamburglar. We know that Poison Ivy now is the new #1 contender for the Women's World Championship. We're now trying to determine here in this triple threat who the #1 contender is going to be for the Cruiserweight Championship, as you could just see the sweat flying off of Kyle Matthews after that shot with the kendo stick.
Absolutely, a brutal shot there from that kendo stick.
How much more do these guys have left in the tank?
I don't know.
This is their second match. This one's gone on for a lengthy amount of time. All three men are bleeding.
You've got to think about trying to put this thing away as quickly as you possibly can. And I honestly, you know, I don't want to see these guys literally kill each other, but at some point, you've got to do something to end it.
We're almost to that point now.
Definitely going to need some medic visits after this thing.
Again, whoever advances here, there's no way they're going into that match at Fallout at 100%. Guarantee you that Carson Gum, he is taking notes. He will pick the bones of whoever the number one contender is going to be. Certainly got to think top of his list to be targeting the head region of any one of these competitors.
Ooh.
Big elbow there from Cusco takes down Kyle Matthews.
Kyle tried to take a shot at Hamburglar, but he completely missed, and Cusco took advantage of that, but now Kyle into the cover.
Shoulder tackle here to Hamburger. This could be enough, and it is!
Here is your winner,
Happy Thanksgiving, Kyle Matthews. It was about as brutal as it could have been in the final, but there you go, Carson Gum. You're looking at your #1 contender for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship at Fallout in a week's time.
Kyle looks like he was playing in the Thanksgiving football game without a helmet. As the wounds of war on the face of the #1 contender, he will face Carson Gum at Fallout. Thank you all for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys next Thursday night for the FWE Fallout PLE.